Hello guys. I just wanted to talk for a minute kind of about why I started the worm farm. And well, it kind of started as a hobby and it's kind of evolved into a very massive hobby. But a few months ago I kind of decided I may want to turn it into a side hustle or a small business, a small worm farm. And the idea has just kind of grown from there. But I went from a little bit of worms to a whole bunch of worms in 6.5 months. I started with a pound. I have not purchased any other worms since that first initial 2 purchases. I bought 2. Two batches of worms. And I'm now up to I don't know how many. I have 8 1-ton bins going, and before I started with a few busboy bins that I had filled up, and I got some video of that I'll show you later on. I'll have lots of videos coming up as soon as I learn how to edit, because I took a lot of videos over the last 6 months. Some of them weren't so great, I got rid of them, but that was just trial and error. But I started it to give me something a little bit to do, and I've done it before. I thought it was a whole lot of fun back then. I learned a lot the first time I did it, because I knew nothing about worms at that point. But I took what I learned and I started this one. And I just got up one morning and I was up about a couple hours before work, and I was just thinking, I had set up this shop out here to do some woodworking and stuff like that, and I just really didn't want to do that at the time. I'm not sure why. I just didn't feel like it. It's not that I didn't feel like it, I just didn't feel like woodworking at the time. And I love it. I love working with wood. It is an absolute thing I love to do. But I hadn't done it in so long, and I finally got some saws and some space, and was getting all my equipment set up, and so I could get back into woodworking, and I will again. But it just wasn't the time for me. So I was just thinking, what could I do? And this just came up. This just popped up out of nowhere. And I was just sitting there before work, and I was listening to music and just on YouTube and stuff, and a worm farm video came up. And I thought, how great. I watched about 5 minutes of it. I'm like, that looked like so much fun. And I made my decision right then. I'm like, I'm gonna order some worms and I'm gonna start a worm farm. And so that's what I did over the next couple of weeks, is I got the stuff prepared for a worm farm, and I ordered my worms, waited on them, converted the garage over, got everything all scooted out of the way, and built a big worm rack, and was really excited. Ended up not using that worm rack. But it was fun, and I was doing something, and that was great, and that's what I was happy about, is I was back on track doing something and not just going to work and coming home. And because that's great and all, but it becomes very monotonous, and everybody, I believe, needs a hobby or something to do. And this was a hobby for me. And because my body's kind of breaking down, I gotta have both my shoulders replaced, I gotta have a knee replaced, I have a heel that I sheared off from a stress fracture, but it healed broken, so it's gonna hurt real bad one day. I tried not to push it too bad so it doesn't hurt. Just got arthritis build up from breaking a knee, that kind of thing. So worming is perfect, and I love it. I'm glad I got into it, and it's been an adventure. It's been an awesome adventure too. People don't believe me when I say that. They look at worm farming and they're like, how boring is that? They go, what do? They just lay there in the dirt, basically. And I don't know. I like my worms. I got some reds and some blues. The blues are amazing. I love blues. They are absolutely amazing to me. They're just fast. They move around like you wouldn't believe. And they make the reds look lethargic. I mean, it is too funny. And I got some beautiful reds in here. And it's some huge reds. I mean, these guys are gigantic. They gotta be something else. I mean, they're the biggest reds I've ever seen. So, but I'll show you guys those one day too. But the blues I absolutely love. I have thousands of them. And I have thousands of babies right now. They breed in everything. I started breeder bins. Just got rid of that program because they just breed everywhere. I mean, in such mass amounts. I really need to start an overflow bin at this point because I'm running out of space for the worms. Because I want to keep them breeding and I'm not too concerned about building castings and stuff like that at the moment. Because I will have enough castings to get rid of some castings, but I want to make a lot of tea this year. And I want to have a lot of worms. And I want them to keep going the way they are. But anyway, back to why I started. That's all why I started, because I love it, and I've had a lot of fun with it, and I knew I would. I mean, it was almost instant when I seen it. I hadn't even considered it. It had been so many years since I had even thought about a worm farm, but I'd been doing some gardening this last year, and this last spring I was getting it put together, and just doing some different stuff, and it just came out of nowhere right in front of me, and I liked it, so I went with it, and this is where we're at now. So I hope you guys follow along on my adventure with the worm farm, and I am now Pacific Northwest Worm Farm, and this is great, and I just hope to see you guys in later videos. Thank you.